The Prodigal Son. The Prodigal Son is a very interesting story. This story I'll tell you. It's a story of two brothers. One, very hardworking. The other, quite lazy and only thought of the things he could do with money. One day he asked his father, who was a farmer, and said, "Father, I want my inheritance now, before you die." The father reluctantly agreed. Soon the son was really happy. Even though his older brother did not approve, the dad went on with his plans to give him the money. He collected his inheritance the next day, packed his bags, and set sail for a far, far away land. This was away from the land where he was used to living, so he had no one to really guide him, which was not a good idea on the father's part. Upon getting there, he did not invest his money, look for a job, or even set up a shop. He spent his money on gambling, of which he lost all of his money, and then girls, which, of course, he became broke. And oh yes, he had frequent hangovers because he drank wine a lot. Soon there was a famine, and oopsie doopsie, he's kind of broke and has no house or job or any investments to help him through it. So there's no food and he's kind of broke and homeless. What is he gonna do? Get a job. This is probably one thing he was dreading, but he had to do it. He had no choice. He went job hunting, and let me think about it. He got no's, 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 and more no's. Soon, he finally got accepted by a farmer who wanted him to feed the pigs. Not the most lavish thing, but he needed the money. So he set to work, working hard to feed the pigs. A few days later, he was looking at the pigs' food lustfully. You would never think a man would be looking at pig's food lustfully. The only food most people will be thinking of lustfully that is food, maybe jollof rice, pizza, fried rice, but no, he was looking at pig's food lustfully. This was a true sign of desperation. He suddenly thinks of his father's house. How am I here starving to death when most of the servants in the old house had food to spare, and I'm here dying of hunger? Well, you know what? I've had enough of this. I need my daddy. I need help. So he decides to go to his dad and tell him that he's not worthy of being his son anymore, and that he should treat him as some of the workers. He has zero money, so he has to walk. He walks and walks and walks for days and days. Finally, he got up to the dry area of the house. His dad was working in the fields, giving instructions to the servants too. He looked out and saw a beggar man fumbling along the street, half dead, and falling to the ground. He felt compassion for the man and quickly ran towards him. As he got closer, he's like, "Is this my son?" Well, he realizes that it was his son. The son tells him, "Father, I'm no longer worthy of being your son. Treat me as some of the servants." The dad takes no notice and half walks, half drags him inside. He shouts to all the servants, "Quick, give him the best clothes." And they dress him up, and then they give him food. Then the dad says, "Kill the fattest cattle you can find." They kill the biggest animal they have, the fattest and juiciest animal they have. That meant only one thing, a feast. He invited all of his friends, saying, "Come and look, my son is found. He was dead and now he's alive again." Many people came, and there were sounds of dancing and music and laughter from the inside of the house. The elder brother was working in the fields, toiling away. They probably had a lot of land, because it wasn't until they got up to the area of the house that he heard the music and the singing and the laughter and joyful sounds from the inside of the house. He asked one of the servants just leaving, "What's going on here?" The servant says, Your younger brother has finally come home, and your father has asked us to kill the fattest cattle." The boy was angry. Why on earth would he be angry, I wondered. I mean, his younger brother's back, he should be happy. But no, he was kind of angry and jealous. Instead, he stormed off and wouldn't even enter the house. Of course, he was sulking. His father noticed this and came up to him. The boy raged, You do not even give me a small kid to give a small party for my friends. Yet you throw a big party for my brother. Why do you do this?" The father responded, "You should be happy. Your brother was dead, and now he's alive and found. This is a very special occasion. You should be happy. Come on, come and say hello to your brother." Reluctantly, he drags his feet along the ground and shuffles into the main room. There, he sees a bearded man with hair about up to his shoulders. He turns around and realizes that it was his brother, the once baby-faced man who ran away from home with a lot of money. Upon looking at his brother, he realizes, "This is my brother." And he felt compassion for him. He ran towards his brother and gave him a big hug. This is the story of the prodigal son.